This is Roger Stone for American Sovereign Bullion. Since 2020, the U.S. dollar has lost over 20% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to rise. Call 844-272-2428 or go to asbgold.com now to get your free gold and silver guide and learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver delivered to your door or held in a gold IRA today. So go to asbgold.com now. Don't wait for the markets to drop. That's asbgold.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
I love that. I love that quote. I love that president. He did put us on the bestseller list, by the way. That was a book that, Art Laffer and I both wrote called The Trump Economic Miracle. It was a miracle. We've got to return to the miracle. And that's why one of the people I wanted to bring on this afternoon is John Catsimatidis. You know him as the president and CEO of this radio station, among many, many other things. John is one of the political and economic leaders in the city of New York. And by the way, I want to remind you, as soon as I'm done with my segment with John Catsimatidis, the rest of the show will be taking your calls live and in color, 1-800-848-9222. If you'd like to join the conversation, 1-800-848-WABC. My producer says there is one line open if you would like to have your voice heard, because we are freedom of speech radio at WABC. So John Catsimatidis, happy Easter.
Well, thank you. I actually celebrate my Easter next week. But I celebrate all holidays. I celebrate Passover. I celebrate Catholic Easter. I celebrate Greek Easter. I mean, holidays is the time to be together with family and to enjoy. And I think that's the key thing. And America is the greatest place in the world. And I'm sure I standing next to Donald Trump, he is the one that's going to bring freedom back to the world. And he's the only one that has the courage. And you recognize it economically.
Yes.
I recognize it overall. Freedom to the world. The Europeans, I'm scratching my head. I don't understand what the Europeans are thinking about. Would they rather trust Putin than trust Donald Trump? That's unbelievable. How does Donald Trump said? That's a lot of crap. You know, I mean, it's crazy. And the fact is that Iran is a terrorist country, and he recognizes that. And Iran, when President Biden gave more money to Iran by raising the price of oil up to $90 to $100 a barrel, and he made Iran rich again. Not only did he raise the price of oil to $90 to $100 a barrel for 4 years, he allowed Iran to go from 300,000 barrels a day that Trump had him limited to 3 million barrels a day. We made them zillionaires again. And they used that money. Steve, to pay off the Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis. And could you imagine if they had nuclear bombs? I mean, don't the Europeans realize this? Even last week when they realized they had some ICBMs that could reach London, that could reach Paris, where are these guys? Where are their brains? I just, they can't hate Trump enough that they're going to give up their own country. And not only that, they've allowed their countries to be invaded. You know what I always say? Immigration, yes. Invasion, no.
Yeah, that's
They got
for sure.
more people. They got more people in their country than French people. They got the UK. The UK finally realized that they had a problem when they went from 67% British down to 40%. Nigel Farage doesn't talk about it anymore.
He doesn't.
But that was the real reason for Brexit. They woke up, the British woke up one morning and said,
what's happened to our country?
What the hell's going on?
Yeah. So, by the way, that voice you're hearing is that of John Catsimatidis, who is the owner and operator of this great station. By the way, John, I believe we are probably the only station in America that is on 5 straight hours of live radio on Saturdays, starting 10 to 1 with Larry Kudlow, and then 1 to 3 with more money. It's unbelievable because almost every station, it has no live, recording. So that's been a real privilege for me.
Well, I'm glad you're on 1 to 3. I hope you keep that 1 to 3 hours because you said to somebody at the station you want to work less. I think you should work more.
I'm working hard, John, but we'll see. But it's been great. I mean, we've been doing this for
more because you got to get the more money out and you got to get the truth out. And
yes, we do.
And that's important. It's not just about economy. The economy is very important to all of us. And let me tell you what's happening. The price of oil is going, for the first time ever, WTI, which is American crude oil, went above Brent. And let me tell you something.
What does that mean? Say that again. I don't understand.
WTI is Western Texas crude oil.
Wow.
WTI, Western Texas crude oil, went up to $111 on Thursday or Friday, whenever the market was open, and Brent, which is usually $10 higher than WTI, went down to 108. So
what does that mean? What does that mean?
That means something is rotten somewhere because there is no shortage in America on oil. There is zero shortage. And I think my personal opinion, and I told that to the president, and you could tell him that too, because you see him more often than I do, is that they're making him look bad. And you know what? You know who's making the money? It's not the gas stations. It's not the refiners.
Yes.
And you know who's making the money? It's the crude producers. And you know what the traders are doing to force the crude up? Let's say, and I don't know this for a fact, but this is my opinion, that they're playing ping pong. Now, let me tell you what I mean by playing ping pong.
Okay.
Let's say one of the major oil companies buys 100 million barrels of oil on the market, forces the price of oil up from 95 to 97, and then the next day the guy he sold it to buys it back for $99. And they play ping pong back and forth. And they're forcing the price of oil up. There is zero shortages of oil. And one of your other people that you had on during the 1 o'clock hour said, you talked about shortages.
Yeah.
The planet Earth makes crude oil by itself.
Yes.
It's not from the dinosaurs. That's a lot of crap. It's not from the dinosaurs. The planet Earth makes the crude oil for the plaques to be able to smoothly interact. And the only time there's a problem is through fracking, when you take out too much crude oil, too much oil out of the ground, then you get earthquakes because they don't have enough oil, and it's happened in Oklahoma. You don't have enough oil for the plaques to move around smoothly. So shortages. Zero shortages.
Yeah. So, John, you are in the oil industry. You are in this industry, right?
For 40 years.
Yeah. So you know the industry as well as anyone. So I've been talking throughout the last couple hours, you're right, about what's happening with energy. You're one of the world's experts on this because you've made money on this industry. So I'm predicting that we're going to see the oil price back down to $60 to $70 a barrel within the next month or so. What say you?
Absolutely correct, because what happens is that under President Biden, you had crude oil at $90 to $100 a barrel for 4 years. And all of a sudden, I was on French television last Sunday. All of a sudden, they're trying to create a panic that, oh my God, it's over $90 for 30 days. I mean, that's horrible. Mm-hmm. It's all a lot of crap. Once the terrorists that President Trump is terrorizing the terrorists. Once they figured out that enough of them have died and the terrorism is dead, then the price of crude oil will go back down to, I would say, WTI, which is American crude, between $55 and $65 a barrel. And Brent, whatever the price of Brent is going to be, maybe historically it's $10 more than WTI, which is American crude oil versus the European crude oil.
So, John, if you are right, and I think you are, then we're talking about the price of gasoline at the pump sometime in the next month or two, getting back down to the $3.50 to $3 a gallon price.
When you have all of a sudden, when the oil companies that produce the stuff and the traders that create that price, once they panic, all of a sudden you're going to see it drop.
Yes.
Within 1 day, it'll drop $20 a barrel.
Yeah. So, John, I want to go back to a point you just made, because great minds think alike. And, I never could understand why we call oil and gas and coal fossil fuels, because I think this is based on a myth that the energy came from, fossils. That is like dinosaurs.
They came from dinosaurs.
It's ridiculous because, John,
it's like the pyramids. They said that the Jews, the Jewish slaves built the pyramids. No way. No way.
No, that's exactly right. And here's the thing. I want to start a movement. We should stop calling them fossil fuels and call them geological fuels, because the core of the earth is burning hot and that creates energy, right?
Yeah, absolutely correct. And the planet Earth creates the food.
So that means, by the way, this is so important, John, because that means these are not, the planet keeps producing energy, right?
100%.
Yes.
100%.
This is important because.
And they're conning the American people. You remember back in the 1980s, we're going to run out of crude oil. We're going to run out of this. We're going to run out of that.
Big lie.
It's the big lie. It's the same people 500 years ago that they were telling that the earth is flat, and if Columbus goes far enough, he's going to fall off the planet yet.
Isn't that the truth? It's the same people who said we had a population bomb and now we have a declining birth rate. Well, John, we got 1 more minute left. What do you have to tell the American people?
Well, me and Larry Kudlow, your buddy, we agree 100%. Buy equities. Sell crude short, because over the next 30, 60 days, you're going to be 100% right.
Oh, do I love that story. That's John Catsimatidis, folks. He is the owner-operator of this station, does an amazing job. The #1 station in America. We will be taking your calls. When we come back, we'll be back in 2 minutes. 1-800-848-9222 if you'd like to join the show. And happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Let Century Management Solutions get you to your next medical appointment. They specialize in non-emergency medical transportation, connecting patients to care, safety, reliability, and on time. Their advanced technology platform seamlessly coordinates patients, healthcare providers, insurers, and transportation partners all in one powerful network. With over 200 trusted transportation providers, they deliver scalable solutions backed by real-time tracking and complete transparency. Go to SENTRYMS.com.